Welcome back to another episode of
Fantasy Sports Teams Go!
Do 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 do. We drove through the snow. We waited for Brian to get through the snow, and we're back. We're dedicated. We're recording for you, and because me and Brian won our fantasy matchup. That's right, buddy. I wish we all could have made it to the next round. To have 3 or 4 would be pretty awesome, but we had to.
It's hard when
had to cut ties with one of.
It's hard when we play each other.
Yeah.
It is pretty challenging to do that.
Can't both win, right?
I mean, you guys could have tied, and
I think there's
no way we could have tied.
it's tiebreakers at that point.
but what if all the tiebreakers are also tied?
Someone's got to win.
Then we flip a coin.
Oh my god! All right, so we'll go through the matchups and do all that. We'll start with yours, buddy. We'll go with Brian versus John. This is projected to be a very close game. It has you winning by 1 point right now. But Russell Wilson, he was the fantasy savior for you last week.
He's like
And for like the whole season, pretty much.
he's like my fantasy savior. He's the Seahawks fantasy. He's not even their. I mean,
He could be the MVP of the league.
he could be their fantasy savior. Don't get me wrong. Like there's some people.
Just their savior.
They might see him as a savior. They might see him as a fantasy savior. So I don't want to speak for everyone here. But
Pete Carroll's got him on his fantasy team.
yeah.
I see him more of like a fantasy killer, but that's
What?
because he killed me.
I'm so mad that no one responded to my text last week when I said, how many pieces of gum do you think Pete Carroll chewed?
Honestly, I haven't watched the Seahawks game all year.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
That
I
guy's
think
always chowing
I think
down,
I've
man.
only seen like one and I didn't even notice.
They had one primetime game, I think, and I didn't watch it.
I guess it's because I've been paying attention, but that guy,
Yeah, you have the quarterback.
he chows down on gum. Every single time you show me that.
That's fine.
I'll have to take notice next time. I have not noticed that. But, I mean, if it's as much as you say, then probably at least
I think he has
one
to go
of those rolls of...
He chews a pack a day.
What was that gum, like, tape thing that you would pull out? What were those called?
Bubble Yum? No.
I know what you're
That's a
talking
different
about.
one.
You know what I'm
Double
talking
mobile tape or something.
Yeah,
like
I can't, yeah. I don't
those
know.
were the best.
Those were clutch.
Well, I
You
actually
just
never-
whip it out.
I actually didn't do that. I just
Good.
put the entirety in my mouth.
It's impressive. I've never done that. But yeah, I mean, Wilson, kind of a favorable matchup. It's at home. I mean, Seattle turns up at home.
Yeah,
So-
and it's December here. Wilson has. I'm not concerned about Wilson, especially since Wentz just kind of went in
Mhm.
did his thing. I think Wilson could put up a comparable showing. I don't know if he would have the fantasy score he had last week, but I expect 25 points plus from him.
That would be pretty good. I
That-
mean, I would take that.
Yeah,
That's quarterback.
that's just what I see. I mean, his rushing helps soften the floor for everything, and then
Mhm.
his deep throws are just beauties.
I think he's a better fantasy quarterback when his team is losing by
Yeah,
far, and they're facing a tough team, so it's a good matchup for you.
He had one bad game this whole year, and it was week 1. He only had 8 points. Other than that, the lowest output he's had was 13, and then 17, and then everything else after that was 23 and above. So he's been really good. On the other side, Blake Bortles, he's had 2 good weeks in a row.
Playing
But
like
do
he
you expect it
deserves
to
to stay there.
continue?
Houston's not that great of a defense.
They lost to
Secondary,
San Francisco,
yeah.
so
Pretty handily, too.
they got whooped.
And Jacksonville is just riding some kind of streak.
They're gonna
right
win
now.
the division.
Yeah, they're gonna win the
Yeah.
division for sure. It just depends if it's Bortles doing it or if it's Fournette running it in. Because I can see either.
There was a little bit of both last week, though.
Yeah.
Because Fournette had over 100, I think, and a touchdown. And Bortles had, like 300 yards or something close to that and 2 touchdowns. So, I don't know.
If anything, I see Bortles equaling what Wilson can do. But
you think so?
that's just what I say. But I think.
I think maybe just because of the matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at home. It's against Houston, who has been dipping. Their defense is not good. I don't know. I feel like Russell Wilson's bound to have a better game than Blake. Blake Bortles has to break eventually.
Yeah,
Or at least
return
bend a
back to the
little bit.
norm.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he did do that, especially since it's at home.
Yeah.
So who knows? I just think, you know, that they're going to have prime field position like almost all game. If it's TJ Yates throwing the ball, which is somehow worse than Tom Savage, I just think field position wise, it makes
a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference, and Bortles will have a lot more opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I see Wilson having definitely the better of the two games, honestly, just because Wilson is so good at getting chunk plays when his team is behind, and Bortles, he has to be consistent throughout the whole game to produce what I think Wilson could do, and so it'll be a lot easier for Wilson. But I think Fournette will have a pretty good game. They haven't really stopped the run very well recently,
they've
so
been really bad.
I'm guessing Bortles will do decent, but I think Wilson has a better edge there.
I think Bortles will get like 13 or 14. I see this being more so like a Leonard Fournette game.
I mean, I hope so. I hope it's like that one game earlier in the season where Bortles didn't throw an entire pass in the second half.
That's the Steelers game, right?
Yeah,
They didn't have to. They intercepted Ben 5 times in the second half. They didn't have to throw a pass.
True. Running backs. How are you feeling about your running backs? I know Kamara is supposed to come back, and Kareem Hunt kind of got back on track.
I was talking to Ryan about this before the podcast started, and I think Kareem Hunt is not what he was at the beginning of the year. I don't expect that kind of production from him anymore, obviously. But I think, you know, Kansas City is righting whatever wrong they were doing with their offense in the middle of the season. They kind of scaled it back, probably. They're getting other players involved a little bit more, which is taking pressure off of Hill and Kelsey and Hunt. But it's also, you know, allowing them to be the players that they are. So I think Hunt's going to have a pretty good matchup, pretty good game actually against the Chargers, especially since the Chargers secondary has been pretty good this entire. I mean,
the defense has actually been playing pretty well.
Yeah, but I would say that too.
Yeah.
Their pass rush has been insane.
I just think, I think, you know, if there's one way to beat them, maybe it's on the ground.
Yeah, I'd say their passing defense is better than their rushing defense.
Yeah. So I hope, you know, it's Kareem Hunt's getting more, like, the focus stays on giving him the run and all that. And then, you know, that opens up the passing game more and more. That's what it should be doing. I don't know why they keep thinking they can just pass every single time.
What about Kamara? You think he bounces back? I mean, do you think that he's going to be, you know, fully ready to go when he gets a lot of snaps, or do you think that they're going to scale him back?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but I watched a hit, and I watched him...
Disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
Ryan is not a doctor.
I watched him walk out to the side, and I think, you know, they took him out just preemptively, you know, like
Yeah, you have to test everyone, so it would have been tough for him to come back in the game. Because the tests that they run now for concussions, they take such a long time.
Unless you're Russell Wilson.
Yeah, unless they basically risk your life doing it. Like the one with Kamara, if he would have been perfectly fine and they found no sign of like any loss of consciousness or any dizziness, then he would have probably been able to go in probably by the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But that's not saying a whole lot. Like, it doesn't give you a whole lot of time. So I think they probably held him out just because they didn't want to risk anymore. And he probably has a decent chance of playing this week and doing pretty well.
I mean, he tweeted out that he'll be back. Like, he said he's going to be... I mean, this is a player. Players say they'll play all the time. But he tweeted out saying that he was going to be back literally after the game. So I think, you know, I think he will be back, and I see him putting up
a lot of points.
You know,
yeah, he's amazing.
He's a PPR god.
Super Kamario. Like he's got. Like,
are you gonna change your name to that? Or are you going to stick with
I'm gonna
Kamarahameha?
Kamarahameha. I think I'm going to stick with Kamarahameha, but I think he has a bounce back game and comes back.
He should.
Thursday football was not exciting for the Saints once he went out. Like became
their offense became pretty one-dimensional.
You know, you thought that
it was all right, but it was nothing compared to when he's in there.
I mean, it was pretty boring.
It brings a whole dynamic that other teams have to basically focus on.
Well, I hope
everything else up.
Hope the Jets don't go, well, we have to give him a concussion for us to win the game.
They're gonna target his head.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have lost that game anyway. Saints
Yeah.
made an absolute mess of that fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, yeah, they blew it. Other side here with Johnny Boy, we got LaShawn McCoy, who probably won't be playing in a blizzard in Miami.
Dude, he loves the blizzards, man.
Or actually, no, that's at Buffalo. My mistake. And
Yeah, he runs in the snow.
He
man.
loves running in the snow. I remember him running on the Lions.
On the Lions,
that
yeah,
crazy
on the-
snow game.
I actually brought that up to my dad. I was
was-
like, "Do you remember that Philly game that the Lions were in back? We were in Robinson Hall.
Yeah,
still.
that was such a fun game to watch.
That was really.
And
fun.
it was kind of interesting.
You couldn't even see anybody.
It was
Like,
interesting to see how the game went with the Colts game too. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just weird
Adam
and interesting.
Vinatieri making that like 90 to like a curve.
Yeah.
It was nuts. But yeah, I mean, Shady had a pretty good game. I would expect the same. I mean, Miami's defense isn't that great. I know they limited
played
time. I know they played good on Monday, but they were jacked up.
Maybe it was like
for that
because it's a
game.
primetime game against
Prime
the
time
division
at
rival
home.
At home,
And the
yeah.
Patriots never do well in Miami, anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I would expect a bounce back from, well, not really bounce back from Buffalo because they won, but I would expect Miami not to play as well,
Yeah.
especially if
Did
they go-
Buffalo win?
Yeah. they
Yeah,
did.
Oh.
they went to overtime.
Oh yeah, because
McCoy
McCoy
had
ran.
overtime.
Because I was thinking about
Touchdown.
a 2-point conversion that happened.
Got overturned
Yeah.
after a pass interference call. I was kind of hoping that game would end in like a 8-7. That would have been really cool.
That would have been weird. But yeah, I mean, McCoy, he'll probably get his.
Yeah, he's a fantasy stuff.
He's a good player. Burkhead, I mean, I feel like this New England-Pittsburgh game has a chance to be really interesting, and I don't really see Burkhead being a part of that.
Well, it's weird, because I think after the Patriots were like obviously like playing catch up mode, Burkhead I don't think saw the field like at all.
He got a few catches, but he was pretty much a non-factor. I mean, he did have one touchdown though.
Yeah, and that was in the first half. I was almost going to say first quarter, but that was in the first half.
Yeah,
It was pretty close to
early
the
in
first
the
half.
game.
Yeah, and it was off a pass interference that like on the goal line, so he was on the one and he lines up, which is concerning knowing that the Pats see him as their goal line back, which is not Mike Gillislee.
Yeah, he's dead somewhere.
Yeah, he's not doing anything.
But chalk him back up to one of those running backs that the Patriots have. They'll give him 3 touchdowns, and then he won't never play again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't that one happen week 1? He had like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? Who's that guy that showed up late to practice the day after he scored 3 touchdowns on Sunday night?
Oh,
Against the Colts. Who was that guy's name?
It was.
He never played football again.
I didn't.
He literally never played again.
Didn't the Lions sign him and then they cut him
probably.
after the preseason?
I don't know.
I know who you're talking about too. I can't remember his name.
Mm.
It was something kind of weird.
I know who you're talking about as well. But that's the Patriots way. It's like, oh, you scored 3 touchdowns, you're not playing for us anymore.
I'm gonna search this because it's gonna bug me if we don't figure it out.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know how the Steelers in general keep winning those games. They're close games that they are having.
Antonio Brown.
I mean, Antonio Brown is amazing, obviously.
he should be the MVP.
You think so?
I think so. I think without him, they don't win like
You think he'll
half
pass?
those games.
Here's a question: do you think he'll pass Calvin's record?
What's he at right now?
He's at like 15 something with 3 games left. He'd have to get 400 something yards in the last 3 games.
Oh.
It's
close.
Yeah.
He's got a chance.
What are the matchups besides Patriots at home? Do you know what the rest of his schedule
I don't
is?
know.
I'll say no.
Yeah, I don't think he will, but because obviously Antonio Brown did good on a primetime game. That's just what he does. He looks good on.
They
primetime.
play New England at home, then they're at Houston with that bad defense, and then they're home against Cleveland.
I don't know. I think
Could happen.
that last game they might have nothing to play for though. They might not want him to play.
That's
Could
true.
be an issue.
Also, that running back, Jonas Gray.
Jonas Gray.
Jonas
that's what it
Gray
was.
was the running back.
But in other words, like Pittsburgh's defense hasn't been that great
No.
after losing Shazier.
No.
Like they're nothing compared to what they are with him. So like they give a 38 to the
Baltimore.
Ravens. I
Mhm.
thought only the Lions could do that, but apparently 11-2 teams can do that too. I don't know. I could see Rex Head being decent. And
You think so?
I can see the Patriots scoring a lot, and one of them being Burkhead. With Gronk coming back, and after losing a game, I don't know.
Yeah. It's going to be, well, this is probably the first time all year that they've had all of their offensive pieces back.
Yeah,
What do you
because
think
Chris
about it?
Hogan's back now.
Chris Hogan will be back, Gronkowski will be back. Amendola's
Still playing.
somehow.
Yeah.
They got Kenny Britt now.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he'll play, but that was an interesting pickup.
I don't know. In general, I think Burkhead, if the Patriots can do well, and I think he might get a score if they do, so it could be decent.
All right.
Yeah. Receivers.
Yeah, receivers. Let's see. For you, you got Jordan Nelson in your flex spot. That's fun. That's a fun time, Brian.
I mean, the guy that makes him a decent wide receiver.
Are you playing A-Rod, or are you going to keep him stashed?
Start him, boy.
What should you do?
I'm not playing Aaron Rodgers
Why not?
because I have Russell Wilson,
Who's Russell Wilson play?
the Rams.
Yeah, Rodgers doesn't have a
I
great
did get
matchup.
that last pick right.
You also told me not to play Russell Wilson.
Well, there was luck there.
You're right on that one.
Those plays was luck. That wasn't something that he just did out of his.
He threw that bomb to Tyler Lockett.
And again,
On a missed coverage. It was a great throw.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but there was no covering him.
Yeah, exactly. See, I like your thoughts.
There we go.
I'm gonna
got
stay
the
with
feel
the
of
fire of Russell Wilson.
So you're staying with Russell. Okay.
I think that's what I call sticking with the guy he's done nothing but great.
Yeah.
Can't bench him now, especially Rodgers coming back first week facing a pretty tough defense.
But you're going to reap the benefits from Jordan Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
who you would think would probably have a good game.
He should.
I think Jordy's gonna have a good game, especially with Rodgers going to be back. It's almost poetic, you
What's the
know.
weather gonna be like?
Yep.
It's not in Green Bay.
I know, but it don't matter. It's cold all over the place.
He'll be fine.
He's got a point.
I think he'll be
Jordan
fine.
Nelson is good because of Aaron Rodgers. So if Aaron Rodgers plays, Jordan Nelson will be good. That's the way I see it.
I hope so. I mean, he
I
hasn't scored.
put Jordy in my lineup in one of my other leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't scored since Rodgers got injured, but you know when Rodgers was playing, he had 6 touchdowns and like 5 games or something like that.
Let's see his stats without Rodgers. So he got injured in the Minnesota game. Let's see. 1 for 13, 4 for 35, 3 for 20, 2 for 24, 3 for 11, 5 for 17, 4 for 33. 0 touchdowns.
Booty.
That's horrible. With Rodgers.
7
for 79 and touchdowns, 6 for 52 and 2, 4 for 75 and 2, and 2 for 24 and 1 touchdown, not great. 6 for 60.
So essentially, in
Aaron Rodgers is his.
in the 4 games that he played with Rodgers, he scored 6 touchdowns.
And since then, he has scored
Yeah.
a donut hole.
I want to be
0.
like, the smug guy who called it. But
But yeah,
I've been saying this for like 5 years
I was
now.
gonna say you've been saying this for like his entire career.
But other words,
But
like
anyways.
in just terms of the wide receivers in this matchup, there are 4 wide receivers on both of these teams that are all really good right now. Like they're all like top quality receivers and could break out and be like for 30 at any time.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got Julio for Brian. You got Keenan Allen for John.
Julio on Monday night against Tampa. Like
Tampa's horrible.
Tampa's not good.
Tampa's the team
Tampa's-
that he just torched 2 weeks ago.
Well, Tampa has the worst secondary statistically in the league. So you should
And
get some big
I'll
points.
give Julio a lot of credit. On Thursday, he did not get open a whole lot, but when he did, he made the most of it, and
Well,
he
yeah.
made some really good catches, like when he wasn't open even.
Yeah.
Like they were really forcing him the ball, honestly, and it cost them for a while. Like those
turnovers.
those turnovers, like at the end of the half, and the one in the end zone.
Yeah, Matt Ryan looked terrible.
Like
he played bad.
honestly, Matt Ryan was trying to force Julio because obviously he's their best player,
Yeah.
but and he was having a hard time at the beginning of that game getting open against a tough defense. But when he was getting chunk plays, and that's the kind of thing that Julio does. Even if he has a bad game, it'll be good fantasy-wise because it's like 5 for 100 yards. That's like 15 points. Like, it's decent, and he didn't even score.
Gladly take 15 points.
I think Julio is not going to have the type of performance he had 2 weeks ago against Tampa Bay. That's very unrealistic to even think. But it is prime time. I think Julio does have a pretty good game.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's like my Monday night savior for me.
Yeah, if you
Could
need
be.
if you need a big game on Monday night, you definitely could get it with Julio.
Yeah, you got the right matchup for that.
But on John's side, he does have Keenan Allen, like how you have said, and
He's been a beast.
unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been really good.
he's playing the Chiefs, who have been pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have struggled containing receivers this year, of all things. So
Although last week they didn't. They held Derek Carr and those guys in check.
yeah, I don't know. Part of me just thinks that Oakland offense is just kind of doomed for the rest of the year. Like, it was just.
Yeah.
I mean, Crabtree is their only guy now that can do anything really. Cook kind of is decent too, but I don't know. The O-line is garbage. They don't have a great running game, so they rely on throwing the ball a lot, and especially when they're down, they're really predictable. So.
I agree.
Uh,
What do you think about Doug Baldwin?
I
He
think
and Russell connect again?
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they do. Because I read somewhere that like over the past like couple of weeks, the Rams have just been terrible against slot receivers. Like they have not been able to play them up to par. I'm trying to think of who the Rams have even played lately, so I can give out names. But I think Sterling Shepard was one, and Sterling Shepard had a really good game against them.
Aguilar was decent last week. Aguilar.
Yeah,
Aguilar was good last week.
So the slot receivers have kind of fallen off for the Rams lately, and I think, it just the Seahawks are playing to make the playoffs, and they're riding a high. Even though they did lose to the Jags, I think
they melted down at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Like that defense absolutely lost it when they gave up that third and long run to Fournette to seal it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the guys were getting thrown out. That one guy was about to jump the fence to fight a fan. Like, they were losing their shit. So it'll be interesting to see how their whole team comes together. If it either, like, force them to, like, really, really get amped for this game and just blow someone out, or if that just kind of, like, nags at them and they keep struggling.
Yeah.
So
It'll be interesting to see. And then I guess the one guy that we haven't really talked about is Larry and Dez.
Yeah, and Crabtree on my side.
Well, we talked a little bit about
Yeah, and he has Josh Gordon too. So
yeah, that's his flex is Josh Gordon, which
Gordon
is
is
good
back,
call.
man.
Good call. He played really well last week.
Yeah.
That touchdown was nice.
It was really nice. He looks.
Yeah, that was
great.
like old school Josh Gordon too.
It was.
Like just the long seam route and just reaching his arms above the guys and just snagging it and keeping his feet on.
Yeah, great catch.
I wonder if he does continue it on against the Baltimore D, but the Baltimore D did just kind of get
They got roasted.
But that was Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
But it is Josh Gordon.
Yeah, it's interesting to see if he can duplicate it. He's definitely going to get the targets. We'll just see how
He will.
Mm-hmm.
how well
And
he
then
Well, I also worry, just the Sean Kaiser against that Ravens D.
yeah,
as well.
he could get hit early and rattled, which could throw him off and could throw Josh Gordon's game off. But sure, we'll see.
and then tight end Hunter Henry versus Vernon Davis.
Hunter Henry.
Hunter
that's
Henry
another-
somehow is just keeping it up.
Yeah, he's taken over. I mean, that was a very bad trade on my part at this point. But get out of roll with what you got. I think
Yep.
Vernon Davis will have a touchdown. I think that's what I can so far. Because I called and told you that.
He could. I mean, like, he's definitely the main tight end there now. Like, the other guy's out for the year, right? So
Jordan Reed.
Yeah, Jordan Reed's
the
on
tight end
IR.
is going to score for Washington. It's probably going to be him.
Yeah, and I think
That offense looks so
Do
bad.
they
last
have
week,
anyone
though.
else, like, receiver-wise? I mean,
the Arizona gives up points, dude. Like, Arizona's not that good.
Like,
Crowder's not even that good.
Crowder's and Doxson's and, like, they don't. And Kirk Cousins tends to, like, spread the ball out too. It's weird. They throw the ball to that fullback a lot, like the Niles Paul dude.
I don't like their offense, which is why I'm rolling with Kirk Cousins this week at quarterback. Yeah, that's an interesting tight end matchup.
Honestly, I'd give Hunter Henry the edge there for sure. He's been really good ever since the streak started with San Diego winning handily in a lot of their games.
Yeah.
So I'd see that keeping going.
me and him also have two good defensive matchups this week as well, in my opinion.
You poached my defense I wanted to pick up, Brian.
I was
Okay, what I don't understand is how you had a higher waiver claim than I did.
I did.
Yes. Otherwise, because I had the Saints D as my number one waiver claim.
I had the Saints D as my number one waiver claim.
Yeah, which is why you got them.
Yeah, but
Why did you?
should have lower, right?
I don't know.
I should have the higher waiver claim though, right? Because my record's worse.
I would imagine so. Dude, I'm not the one, I'm not over here making it
And I
right.
checked, and now I have the 12th waiver claim, and I literally have the worst record out of everybody else
Well,
in.
If the waivers
The
already
playoffs.
went through, that would be because you made the most recent claim.
Well, I don't know, but still, I
But
had
at
the
the beginning,
Yeah.
it is weird that would be the case.
I don't. The,
bullshit.
I mean,
You trade me their defense right now.
Hacker man, I think Brian's using his hacks over here.
the only thing I could say that might do it is because you beat a top seed, a higher seed than I did. That maybe you jump to a higher seed, but that's
I
a
don't know,
stretch.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I still checked the standings, and I had the same seed, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
I have no idea.
But I was worried about you picking up the Saints D. I was just gonna full disclaimer out there.
Why couldn't you just put them as your second waiver claim?
Because I was like, if by any chance Bond does not put him as number one, I need him. That was like my only mindset.
Well, I think they'll have a good game, probably. I mean, the Jets, what happened to McCown? They had to go with Petty, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hurt?
They got shut out last
I mean,
week
I don't
against
know.
Denver of all teams, and
Yeah, that was
they looked
surprising
bad.
because the Jets offense surprisingly had been one of the better offenses in football. I don't know how, but they'd been getting a lot of chunk plays with McCown at quarterback.
Yeah, which is why I picked up the Jets defense last week, and they just
But-
completely went off the rails.
But this Jaguar defense, honestly, could go for 30 to 40 fantasy points against the TJ Yates
Not
led
not
quarterback.
with the defensive stats that we have in our or the defensive
Yeah.
scoring. I think in a different league probably, but with the scoring and defensive
Dude,
league, it could be like 20 or 25.
They've put up 30 like almost twice, and they've put up 32, 29, 22, and 30 this year. They could do that again.
I just hope that the Saints can match.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you would definitely hope so.
That's what you would hope for. But I
Yeah.
honestly think the Jaguars might be
I just think Bryce Petty
real
Dude.
crazy this week.
gotta do something for me. And Prater, I didn't want to go with Prater. I was actually trying to pick up Tucker again, but
Yeah.
for some odd reason Heather picked him up. And
Has 3 kickers now.
you think?
She has 3 kickers.
Do you think that Heather picked up that kicker
Conspiracy
because
theory.
I picked up the tight ends
To get back at you.
to try to get it back at me?
Maybe.
But I'm perfectly content with throwing out Prater still.
I mean, yeah, I would expect the Lions to probably get a decent amount of field goals against the Bears.
I think
But it's the Lions.
Yeah.
they had the ball a lot last week. It was just, whenever they got to like the 50-yard line, Stafford wanted to throw to the other team for some odd reason.
Yeah, they'd either turn it over or score
Yeah.
last week for
Yeah.
some reason. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
weird, but
So
Yeah, that was a weird.
I'd still say it's a good play. And Boswell has been good too because Pittsburgh's been scoring a lot recently.
Yeah, if that's
so.
going to be a high-scoring game, that'll be a good play. I mean, how many did he have last week? Like 19?
yeah, he's
Something like that?
This is a really good matchup.
this
Yeah,
is gonna
19.
this is gonna be a tough matchup.
This is a good match.
We're down in the semifinals. All the teams are good, right?
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Exactly. So
That's why Ross's
mean, my
team's
team's
not here.
the league has worked. The league has worked out well. It's gotten to the point where the four best teams are in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Who wins? Brian. You know what? I'm not even going to ask you. Ryan, who wins? I don't know who Brian's going to pick.
I'm gonna go with Brian.
You're going to go with Brian?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. John's team has probably been the best team the last 4 weeks in general in our league. So this is probably a really scary matchup for you. But I'm gonna go with you on this one.
I picked myself to lose last week.
You did, but you were wrong.
I know.
I'm going to pick Brian. I think it's going to be close, but I think the quarterback play is definitely in your favor, and I think Julio's going to go off, and I think Jordy Nelson with Aaron Rodgers is going to be a good play. So,
All right, go ahead, Brian. We'll let you answer.
Who do you think's going to win, Brian?
Me! I'm going to win.
All I gotta say is, John, watch out for the texts on Saturday night after Keenan Allen does well, because he'll basically claim you already won.
Oh man! All right, we'll go to my matchup.
Back to the championship, baby. That's where I want. Back to the championship.
Just win, baby. Just win.
That's all you gotta do.
All right, me versus No Name, who still has Ross's
I
profile.
kind of love that picture. I love it.
It's probably,
It's probably the
pictures out
greatest
there.
photo ever taken. Honestly, like whoever has rights to that photo is probably
Dibs.
really. Well, no, I mean whoever took the photo has
Yeah.
the rights. They're probably like millionaires in the waking or in the making, so they could definitely make some cool hard cash from that photo.
All right, we got the quarterback matchup of dreams, obviously.
Well, yeah, Kirk Cousins versus Tom Brady. I mean, last week Kirk Cousins had more points than Tom Brady, I think.
Probably. Brady didn't do too well.
Let's see. Oh yeah, he had more. Brady had 11. I know Kirk Cousins had. Wait,
Kirk Cousins had 10.
Did he? Oh, I'm gonna lose now.
Wow,
All
you're
right.
screwed, man.
I'm
You
done.
can't even beat a Tom Brady
No.
on the week that he throws one touchdown and a couple picks.
But
Kirk Cousins is gonna play better this week.
I think so as well, and I don't know if Tom Brady is going to continue playing up to par. Because ever since he went on, ever since he's been on the injury report with the Achilles problem that happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, his QB rating has dropped to like 84 or something.
And he played like that's the worst I've ever seen Brady play.
Yeah.
Like last Monday that was horrible.
So calm down. He's
I-
Tom Brady. You never want to see Tom Brady after a loss. He's gonna perform.
1, I do agree with that. 2, this is like the perfect thing to light the Patriots up to do their run. You know, they lost in prime time. They reload. They get back to it. They figure out what's wrong, and they just run the table.
And then they lose at Pittsburgh. And Tom Brady throws 3 interceptions and no touchdowns. And then they'll get it together.
Yeah.
After this week, they can do that.
This is not gonna happen.
I don't know. We'll see. I think Pittsburgh wins this game, honestly. Just because of... I mean, all their games have been really close, but they just somehow find a way to win. And I think their offense is better than Patriots right now. But running backs, I don't know if I'm going to keep Theo out there, but I mean, he had a good week last week, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Theo.
It all just depends on if Amir plays. That's the thing.
If Amir's not playing, then Theo is a good player, right? I mean, he scored twice last week. I mean, obviously they still.
And one of those rushing touchdowns was nice.
I mean, it was a nice run. It's probably our only good run of the game for the Lions.
year.
Year for the Lions. But I don't know. I don't expect him to do that while running the ball. I think if he's going to have a big game, it's going to have to be in the air because I don't know, the Lions' run offense is so bad normally.
It's terrible. It's really bad. But Jordan Howard going up against a bottom 5 rushing defense
Yeah, that one.
against Detroit.
That,
Yeah,
that one definitely could be.
And he killed it last week, so I'm going to have to roll with him. And I almost did not play him.
He when he
Yeah,
played
man.
Detroit the
We
first
had
time.
Barber in there for a while.
I took Barber out last minute because he wasn't starting. So
That's a good
because
call.
of Tampa Bay's stupid head coach, I won last week. That's the reason I won. So what's the guy's name? I don't even know your coach's name.
I don't know his name either.
Thank you. Thank
yeah, I
you.
don't know either.
But yeah, I expect Howard to play well. He played really well the last time they played the Lions. I think he had like almost 100. Yeah, or no, he did have 100, 125 and a touchdown. So I would expect around the same.
I think Jordan
Yeah.
Howard's a really good play this week. He's gonna get rushes going on. I'm not convinced that offense has figured things out. Not at all. They actually, Cincinnati was pretty weak on defense, considering they just had like 4 people go on IR or something.
Did they?
Because I remember that was the week before. That's when they played the Steelers, and that's when
And everyone died.
and everyone pretty
Did you
much
know
died.
Atkins get hurt too?
Did he? I know one of their safeties got injured, like their top corner, like Perfect got injured. Like there's a lot of people on that defense that
Oh yeah, perfect.
got injured, and that's why I got scared away from playing them against you because I had them in my lineup. I had like 4 different defenses in my lineup last week.
Oh. Whoa.
I was just
different defense.
I was trying to figure
That's
out
illegal.
what's
That should be an automatic loss.
Collusion.
best. Running backs on the opposite side. Bell is...
We don't even need to talk about Le'Veon Bell. He's going to kick
No.
my ass.
But I
Kicks
would
my ass every time.
honestly think that Lamar Miller is not going to have that great of a game. Maybe comparable to what he had against San Francisco.
Lamar is
Yeah, I think
pretty
it'll be
touchdown dependent,
And
and he
that's-
only has 3 this year.
I don't think he's gonna score.
So
I don't know if Houston's
Jackson's-
gonna score.
Jacksonville's defense is too good at this point, and it's at Jacksonville. Like we were saying earlier, the Texans are probably going to lose. They have a terrible quarterback, which then results in terrible running back play. So, and if they get down early, they're not going to run the ball.
Yeah.
So Lamar probably. I mean, for what she has, she's going to have to roll with Lamar because right now her other running back
I mean,
is
she
in
could
her
go,
flex
she
spot.
could go with Coleman and put a receiver in, but even that she'd have to play Will Fuller. So I don't know. I'd definitely
And
go.
yeah,
for
and
Others just
I
rides
would,
that starting lineup all year.
it's worked for her.
yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, Le'Veon's going to get at least 20. At the very least.
Yeah. I would agree.
He's projected 21 right now. It's probably going to be more. I mean, he had, 30-something last week?
He had 39 last week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect him to get that many. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did. So, I mean, I would say running back matchups pretty close right now, just because of Lamar having a bad matchup. But-
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Howard has to be the one that you would lean on more.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta hope for Theoretic to outscore Lamar, and you have to also hope for Howard to put up a good fantasy showing.
To at least try and match Bell.
I don't think that's possible, but I would say
I think it's possible, but it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but
No.
I think it's possible.
I think a good result for you, honestly, would probably be them together matching Bell, and then just hoping Miller is a stinker of a game.
Really?
Because Bell's just been so good lately. He's basically doing the work of 2 running backs.
yeah.
Remember how we were talking at the beginning of the season, like, oh, Le'Veon Bell, what's his problem? Is he going to get it back together? Well,
And he was always getting the touches. He just wasn't ready to play yet because he was.
you had that groin injury.
Yeah, he wasn't practicing in training
and,
camp.
yeah.
Didn't do any preseason games.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Bell stays there next year?
No.
Think he leaves?
You know,
They're going to have to pay.
Le'Veon stays there?
They're going to have to pay either him
I think he
or.
stays.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to pay Brown too, right?
I just know that he's up for.
I don't think you let either of them go, so you give one of them a huge contract and then you can give one of them a tag.
That would be interesting.
Probably give Brown the huge contract and tag Bell.
Oh, yeah, probably.
hmm
Just because he's the more dependable guy. Receivers, speaking of Antonio Brown, I picked up Randall Cobb today.
Yeah, that's interesting. With what Rodgers coming back, see how he does.
I agree.
That's kind of why I picked him up.
Yeah,
Just kind
exactly.
of like kind of a high risk, but
Yeah,
there's a high reward there, and I don't think Sterling Shepard's going to have a very good game this week against Philadelphia.
yeah. I think Philly's gonna come out playing tough.
Philly's going to probably destroy New York, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. Eli Manning is
You know
going to be
what that
laying on the
was?
ground.
You know what that was?
I just think the defense and
Yeah.
Foles wasn't. Yeah,
No,
he's
Foles
never-
was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
He's never been terrible. I mean, he threw 6 touchdowns that one game, but
Yeah, I mean he's not Wentz good though.
yeah, that's for sure. I think Foles can be a game manager and make plays enough that we're
It's the Giants.
yeah, it's the
You're playing
Giants.
like a
The Eagles
PG squad. And their defense is so bad.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
Does that make you worry about Nelson Aguilar then? I mean,
Yeah, I can see Aguilar putting up nice points.
you
I can
think so?
see her entire receiving core putting up nice points.
Yeah. I mean Thielen, obviously every week is pretty much a given now that he's going to do pretty well at least.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't score close to 10 points.
Although,
If he does, probably like 20.
I'm interested to see how Devontae Adams' stock either stays the same. It's either going to stay the same or it's going to go way down. Like, there's no way it's going to go higher.
Yeah.
I could see him being close to the same, maybe a little less, just because Jordy's going to get more targets.
Jordy's
now.
going to get all the targets.
He's going to get.
Roger's going to be like,
He loves
"Look,
him so much.
let me help you out with your stat sheet. You didn't contribute all that much when I was gone, but you're going to today." So I'm interested to see how Adams does
Yeah, I still think it'll be decent.
But how did he do before Rodgers got hurt?
I think it was pretty. It was
I mean,
alright.
he had 5 touchdowns,
That's pretty good.
and he had
What,
one
4
game where he
games?
had 8 catches. It was
6 games?
6
Alright.
games.
6 games with Rodgers.
Yeah.
So the game against Minnesota, he
So
caught the
almost.
touchdown from
I
Huntley.
thought Rodgers only played.
Oh, he did?
4 games.
Yeah, he
Oh, so
didn't-
technically 4 touchdowns then?
Yeah, Rodgers didn't throw that touchdown to him.
Gotcha. Okay. So 4 touchdowns in 6 games with Rodgers. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. But we'll see.
Yeah, Landry had a great game for you last week.
Landry did great.
Yeah, it was that game. It was like 5 games essentially. It was really early on that Rodgers left that Minnesota game,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, it was like in the first quarter or
Yeah.
something like that. It was early on.
That's all right. So what were we saying?
Landry.
Landry, yeah, I would expect him to be the guy again because he's been the guy like all year. They actually have a good running game now that can help Landry like get open on plays.
Drake's done pretty well.
Drake's done great.
Dude, Adam Gacy's been correct, you know, like, he said JJ's not good for the offense. Everyone thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
Dude was right.
He's onto something.
Yeah.
That Kenyon Drake's a monster.
He's been way better, comparatively to what
Yeah.
Giants
Well, yeah.
did.
I don't think the issue was. Like, I guess for the offense he wanted to run, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
Ajayi doesn't fit it very well, but I still think Ajayi's a really good running back. That if he was to be a focal point on a team that like ran an offense like Tennessee's,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that he would be really, he
Yeah.
would fit really well there.
I would agree with that. Tyreek, I said before the podcast, I think he's going to go off because he turns up for those prime time games. So I think he's going to do it again.
Last time he played the Chargers, he got 5 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. So,
And then in the other prime time
He
games,
needs a bomb. I
yeah,
think if he's gonna have a decent game, he's gonna have to have a deep touchdown.
but he's the player that,
Yeah,
They can
he's
do
the most likely to do that.
yeah.
So you can easily
Yeah,
see
he's
it
the- he's the only
so you can
deep
see
threat
it
to have.
happening. But if he doesn't get a deep ball touchdown, I think it's probably not gonna be a good week.
hmm
I mean, he did okay last week, and he didn't have a deep ball touchdown. He had 11.5 points, which it's not terrible.
Yeah, that was against the worst defense than they're gonna be facing against the pass, though. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I guess we'll see. But they played well last week. It's at home, so who knows? Who else we got
Still
here?
saying they're winning.
What's that?
They're winning that game, the Chiefs. So
Oh, the Chiefs are.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
So-
the Chiefs are going to win the game as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So I mean, if
So
that
Tyreek
if
gets
that
points
holds
then?
up, then Tyreek might have a big game.
I just hope it's.
I hope so.
That's
We can split the points, Brian.
fine.
So Kareem Hunt gets 40. Tyreek Hill gets 40.
Yeah.
It is a deal.
apparently they're gonna score like 7 touchdowns on the
Yeah,
Chargers.
they're going to score all the touchdowns. The
Okay.
Chargers are going to get lit up. Tight end, I have Ben Watson in right now.
Pretty nice play. I was actually looking at him myself before I decided to go with Vernon Davis. I mean, it is Cleveland, and Cleveland.
And he played well against
Atrocious.
Cleveland last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that it
I-
happens again.
I was thinking about it. It was. I just got maybe scared, you know, because he wasn't even like in the offense last week.
He wasn't even targeted last week, which
Yeah.
is why he's going to
He
get
was
all the
almost
targets this
Watson
week.
wasn't
No.
in a game where they put up 38.
Was not targeted one
Wasn't
time.
targeted.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, he was almost like Cameron Brate.
It's kind of scary then.
Cameron Brate didn't like get any targets against. He got like 2.
What, last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, against the Lions, he had like 1 catch.
They want O.J. Howard to be the guy. Obviously, they took him in the first round for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's smart. Get him
Yeah.
plugged in.
He looked decent too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Cook's been oddly consistent this year. Actually, I guess I'll take that back because now I just looked at his past 4 weeks, and he had a good game against
Yeah,
Kansas City, but
yeah.
before that he was not that great. Even against the Giants, who are terrible against
He had
Titans.
1 catch for 9 yards. But honestly, he wouldn't have had that good of a game last week if it wasn't for that late garbage touchdown.
Yeah,
So,
Like that whole drive, he had like 3 of his 5 catches on that one
garbage time drive.
So,
Yeah.
and so the Raiders don't have a lot of options going on for them right
No,
now.
their ship is sinking.
I think Dallas is gonna blow him out.
You think so?
Yeah,
Wow.
I
At Oakland?
yeah, I think so.
Wow. All
And I
right.
don't think it's gonna lead it might lead to a garbage time touchdown, but if not, it probably won't have that great of a game.
So do you think I should play Rod Smith then?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
No?
He did have a really nice game, though.
Yeah, but that was basically all in garbage time, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was like long runs, though, so it was.
He had like an
it wasn't
80-something yard
Yeah.
touchdown.
He had that screen pass, too. That was nice.
Yeah.
Then the flex.
I got Mike Evans right now. I am debating not playing him.
I mean,
Wow, that's big.
I understand.
I'm
why.
debating it. He's been pissing me off.
Who would you put in instead?
I don't know,
I'm
man.
debating it too, man. I can't stand Mike
You
Evans.
can't trust him.
He's a buster.
You-
Straight up.
yeah.
Only thing good is that it's a Monday night, so that if you are close, you at least got a chance.
Yeah.
But other than
That's
that,
true.
he's a bum, man.
That's true.
My dad
See-
said so.
Yeah, I might have to bench him now.
I don't know. I honestly think that he's going to have a good game this week.
Grab Robert Woods.
Oh, Robert Woods.
I got a feeling. I just got a gut feeling that
You
Evans
think
gonna
he has
have
a better
good
game this week?
Good game this week.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's better than her flex, in my opinion.
Well, her flex may not even play.
Yeah. So that's why it's better.
Right.
Tevin
Naturally.
Coleman,
Well, the thing is, Mike Evans hasn't scored a touchdown in 8 weeks.
Forever.
It's been 2 months since Mike Evans has scored a touchdown.
He's got to score a touchdown eventually.
I mean,
I'm
it's
saying he's scoring.
something's
He's
got to
scoring
give.
this week.
You think so?
Yeah.
What gives you that confidence, Ryan?
They're going to be down. They're going to be at home. They're going to be able to throw the ball.
That means nothing.
Calling it. Touchdown this week.
See, I thought the same thing last week against the Lions, and they were thrown to literally everybody else except for Mike Evans.
Lions got a stud corner.
Well, Darius Slay wasn't even shadowing him most of the game.
He
Tease
was
Tabor
on
was on
like
Mike
a third
Evans.
of the game.
Steve Tabor's the future.
Cheese Tabor's a beast.
All right. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But anyways, Tevin Coleman may not play. Her other options right now, she's got Forte, who also didn't practice.
A lot of injuries and a lot of kickers.
I mean, yeah, she has 3 kickers.
Wait, where's the other? Oh yeah, Chandler Canzaro. I didn't even see that.
Oh, she put Tucker in her kicker spot because she had Murray earlier. So,
Let's see if she sticks with the 3 kicker strategy, or if she uses that to get a flex position that might actually play.
she might. I don't know. I think old strategy.
It kind of sounded passive aggressive. I didn't mean it that way, honestly.
That's all right. Honestly, I feel like I have the kicker advantage here, just statistically,
I would agree.
because Justin Tucker, the last time they played Cleveland, he only put up, he had 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville's probably going to score 4
And
touchdowns on defense.
Jacksonville's
so
going
who
to
knows
score
what they'll
all
do
the
on
touchdowns, and Houston has given up the 3rd most fantasy kicker points this year. I've done my research.
offense.
So,
Well, you deserve it, man.
I am going to get all the kicker points this week. And then defense, I don't know about Seattle. I put that in a waiver claim just to pick up a defense. I may drop them. I don't know. I really have
They've
to.
been pretty bad since all those injuries.
Pick is Philadelphia.
It's already picked up.
Yeah, I can't pick up Philadelphia, unfortunately.
Philadelphia's gonna go off this week.
Probably.
Defense, I would be interested maybe in. And it's maybe counterintuitive because you have players going against them. But I thought the Falcons defense looked as an interesting choice for this week.
I think Falcons defense. Well, I mean, it could be
I
because
don't
they
know,
turn the
man.
ball over a lot.
Yeah, that's
Winston does.
Winston turns the
Winston-
ball
Like
over.
recently, they've had a lot of turnovers.
And
So,
that's just how I kind of saw it as an option.
but if I'm looking at just defense-wise, not the matchup, I think Atlanta's defense struggles on the road, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I'm
They're
not
way
trying to
better.
give out any fancy.
Yeah.
Well,
They're way
right,
better
yeah.
at home, so if that was the case.
Yeah,
If they were
yeah.
playing at home, that'd probably be like one of the best matchups.
And that's kind of why I threw in Seattle as a claim, because they're at home, and these NFC West matchups typically are, pretty defensive. Because the last time they played LA, what was the
It
score?
was
that
pretty
game?
low score, I think. Pretty sure.
Seattle had 19 points against them earlier this year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say what the score was, but I would assume it was probably.
I think it was like 13-9 or something, or 13-10.
It wasn't high. I think it was. I want to say it was like 19-13 or something like that.
Doesn't say how many
It
points
was
allowed
some-
they gave up. That's weird.
No, for some reason it only shows like turnovers
Yeah,
and sacks
points.
and other touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll debate
I
it
still
throughout
like the
week.
Rams offense, so I think that
I like their offense too. It's just I just don't know how they do on the road, especially against Seattle.
Yeah.
At Seattle, I feel like that might be a tough matchup for them.
Really, they're going to rely on Todd Gurley a lot.
More than likely.
The Rams will.
Seattle's had a tough go against the run.
Yeah, they have.
So, prediction time.
Who wants to go first?
I guess since I picked last time,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go first this time. This is definitely very interesting here, and I think there's a lot of good matchups. But I'll go bold, and I think you're going to take the victory, Vaughn. I think Cousins is going to have a good game, especially home against Arizona. I feel like the Redskins play good at home, and Arizona gives up points. They're not that great of a defense.
Yeah.
Jordan Howard has a good matchup. Landry and Hill should be able to do something. If Watson plays like how he did the first time against Cleveland, then yeah, that's going to be interesting. Lambeau is going to be good. And I see question marks with Coleman, Packers D. You said you think Algor is going to do good, but I don't even know how Foles is going to be on that offense. So that could be a major question mark as well. Adams should be the same. Thielen should be the same. Brady's been not that great. Even though it's going to be a shootout, Brady still hasn't been that great.
Mm-hmm.
And Miller does not have a good matchup. But Le'Veon Bell can make up almost all of that just himself. But I think that you have the moxie to pull it off.
The moxie.
What a word. Alright.
That's our word of the day.
I guess I'll go next.
Go ahead.
Leave you to finish it off in your own game. I'm going to go with Heather on this one. That I think, the way I see it, that Pittsburgh-New England game is going to be high scoring, and it's probably going to hurt you pretty bad on both sides of the ball. So that and her receivers, I think, are enough to get it done.
I'm going to win. Heather made a wrong choice at quarterback last year, as she told us time after time. She played Brady instead of Alex Smith, I think it was, last year in the playoffs, and she lost because of it, and she's going to lose because of it again.
Instead of playing
That's a subliminal.
Tyrod Taylor.
That's a subliminal message for her to bench Tom Brady.
I feel like Brady.
Don't let that work.
I feel like Brady has had, like, in the fantasy playoffs, because I remember, like, one of the first years I ever played fantasy, Brady disappointed me in the fantasy playoffs. Last year he wasn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because every time he plays in Miami, he shits the bed.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but
He usually plays it at the end of the season.
True.
Mm-hmm. So
And it's gonna happen again.
So-
I'm gonna win. Brady's gonna suck.
it's gonna be me and you in the championship.
Me and Brian, the Downriver Boys, in the championship.
Hey, I mean, good luck to you guys. I hope that, for you guys' sake, I hope that happens. But
That would be
I
great.
see Brian and Heather in the finals.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens throughout the week and how all the matchups go. And
At least we don't have to worry about Thursday night football this week.
what is the Thursday game?
Broncos Colts.
Oh yeah, we definitely don't have to worry about that.
no one has any players, do they?
Nope.
Where's
On the
that game
14th.
at? Where's that game
I think
played?
it's
In
in
Denver?
I think Denver.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I think Denver.
If you're this far in fantasy, you probably don't have
Yeah.
a Colts player or a Broncos
Yeah.
player.
Yeah,
More than
probably not.
likely. Yeah, I would
That
doubt
makes
it.
sense for our league. So
Yeah, no, for sure. So, yeah, it'll be a fun Thursday game that will probably suck.
It's home. It's Indy. It's at Indy.
Oh, it's at
by
Indy.
the way.
Okay.
Andy.
So I think that's it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's-
best of luck to the 4 teams that are still in it. Sorry to everyone that lost, including myself
Sorry,
and
Ryan.
especially Ross. After
Suck it,
having
Ross.
giving it so much in the trades.
Good effort, Ross.
So bad for you, man. Honestly, but at least you went for it.
Went down swinging.
All right, guys. Peace out.